Okay, hello and welcome to today's lecture. So we are still on module 3 and we're going to hopefully finish the majority of module 3 to get ready for exam 3. So objectives for today's lecture is to be able to write down equation of regression line. Remember that regression line, we use y, we put a little bit of hat on top of it, and we say y hat is equal to mx plus b. Remember that m is a constant, b is also a constant. These are just numbers. M is called the slope of the line, and B is called the y-intercept. So M is slope, and B equals to y-intercept. We're going to talk about these information today, how to use website IQNA to actually drive the linear regression line for us, and also we have an free online emulator, TI-83, TI-84. You can download this. It's free for 3 months, and you can use it. Okay, perfect. So let us take a look at one example that is written in our note. In this example, we have the following table. In this example, we have a table which shows the relation between two variables. Okay, what are the variables? First of all, you have X as the protein and Y as the predicted rating. So you have 2 columns and the rating. Okay, so remember that we talked about cereals before, and we're just focusing on the amount of protein, how many grams of protein is available in the cereal, and what is the rating. So on the first row, we have protein 0 and the rating, which is 28. Then you have 1 gram of protein with rating 34. We have 2 grams of protein with rating. As you can see, the rating is increasing. And you have amount of protein, which is 3 grams, and now your rating is 46. Then you have amount of protein, which is 4. And very well, we have 52 as the rating. And when X increases to 5, your Y value, which depends on X, is now 58. 58, right? So by looking at this data, first of all, let's see what is our understanding about this table. On the left-hand side, you have protein. So remember that this is X. It is freely changing in the cereal. Protein. And on the vertical axis, you have Y, which depends on X. So you have your rating. Very well. So your rating ranges between 28 and 58. 28, suppose 28 is here, and 58 is here. You have 0. So suppose 0 is just right here. Let us just put it on the origin. Then you have up to 5. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let us take a look at the scatter plot in this case. So our scatter plot says if X is 0, my Y is 28. This is my very first point in this scatter plot or in this graph. Guys, scatter plot is different from dot plot. It's different from histogram. These are all different graphs. 134. 1, let's see. So suppose this is just, okay. 38, and here you have 48. You're scaling that 10 by 10. So 134, 134. The second point is here, 242. Let's go a little bit up, 40, and 3, 46. Okay, 46. It's not exactly 48, so but it's close. 452, 452. There you go, and 5, which is exactly 58. So as you can see, you see almost a linear relation between these points. This line, this regression line, is an increasing line. We see a linear relation between x and y. Remember that. We say that we have positive correlation between these two variables. Positive correlation. So what is the formula? In statistics, we need to have a linear model or a linear formula. Where does it come from? How we can calculate that? So we need a linear model. Y hat equals to mx plus b. Why we need a linear model? This model actually helps us to make some more predictions. It helps to make predictions. Okay. How do we calculate that? Very good. So we're going to use website Alcula and the linear regression line to actually graph and calculate the regression line for us. So let us go to linear regression. Here you have the information that you have here. We need to enter here. So let me go here. So let us just reset the whole thing. We have 0, which is our x, comma, y is 28. We have x1, y is 34. So next line, you have your x equals to 2, your y is equal to 40, your x is 3, your y is equal to 46, your x is 4, comma, your y is 52, next line, and your last x is 5, comma, your y is 58. So let us submit the data. Perfect. So this is your linear regression. As we graph this, we see we have a linear relation between these points, and your regression line is equal to y 6x plus 28. So as we calculated our linear regression line, y hat equals to. So I'm going to write it in the standard way, mx plus b, slope intercept. My m is 6, 6 times x plus 28. This is your linear model. So you can use this equation to make predictions. What do I mean by that? Our x stops at 5. What if you want to make prediction about the rating of x equals to 6? What if x is equal to 6? What would be the prediction? What would be the rating then? So suppose the question says, what is your prediction about 6 grams of protein in the cereal? So what is this 6? 6 is x or y? We are trying to make predictions for our rating. Our rating is, remember that rating is y. So this guy is missing. So y hat is equal to 6 is fixed, x, your new x is 6, so you get 6 times 6 plus y-intercept, which is 28. So y hat, or your prediction, is 36 plus 28, which is 64. So you expect to get rating higher than 58, which is 64. Okay, guys, now I'm going to show you how to use your calculator. First, you need to download the calculator by going to the website educationti80ti.com. So this is the website. Now you need to click on 90-day trial, get started. Enter your information, name, last name, email address, zip code. You don't have to enter anything here when it doesn't have an asterisk. Then your role is a student. And finally, I agree to receive TI email and submit. It downloads a TI 84 emulator for you. So you download the software, you install the software on your computer, and this is the online emulator that you have. It is free for 3 months. So let us use our emulator to find actually just the linear regression line that we calculated using our Alcula. Well, we go to stat. We can go to calc and linear regression. So note that on X list and Y list, you need to have some values, some numbers. So how do you enter these? You go back to stat, you go to edit, enter. So on L1, you have to enter your X values. So let me just erase these. I'm deleting these. And here on L2, I need to delete all the values. Okay. So my X values, they were 0, enter, 1, enter, 2, enter, 3, enter, 4, and 5. My Y values corresponds to X values. So you have to keep the order: 28, 34, 40, 46, 52, and 58. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs of numbers. L1 representing my X values, L2 representing my Y values. Now go to stat, go to calc, and select linear regression AX plus B. So on the first list, I need to have my L1. Remember that my X values were in L1. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on second 1. Now I have L1. My second list is L2. I'm good here. Second 2. And then let us just enter. Excellent. Do you see? Y equals AX plus B. What is A? A is 6. And what is B? B is 28. It is exactly the same formula that we found using Alcula website. Take a look at your Alcula. 6x plus 28, or 28 plus 6x. Well, another example for you. So we have all of the information. Here now you have information about the cereal, sugar, and the rating. Okay, perfect. So let's write down the information that we have here. then use our website and also the online emulator to actually get the regression line. So it was protein before, now we are using sugar. Very well. So sugar, amount of sugar per serving, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And Y, or predicted rating, is equal to 60. Well, 57.6, 55.2, 52.8. Well, we have 50.4, and we have 48. Okay, excellent. So, as you can see, as the amount of sugar increasing, it is an increasing trend. As you can see, the ratings are decreasing. So we see a decreasing trend. So what is the scatter plot? And also, what is your linear regression line? First of all, is this a linear relation? Is this a linear relation? If yes, if we see a line passing through those points, you say that, hey, we have a linear relation, and then we can use Alcula or our online calculator to get the equation of regression line. If yes, go to Alcula or online calculator and find y hat. Y hat is equation, guys. Y hat is mx plus b. mx plus b. Okay, so let us use Alcula to just visualize the whole thing. This is my Alcula. So these are previous information. Let us just reset these. Enter these new information, 0, 60. Next, 1, 57.6. Next line, 2, 55.2. Next line, 3, 52.8. Next line, you have 4 and 50.4. Next line, you have 5, 48. And let us submit the data. Okay, let's take a look at the graph. As you can see, your graph is a line. So we see a linear relation, and it is a decreasing relation. We have a decreasing trend. So since the line is different, equation is different. So the regression line equation is y equals to negative 2.4 times x. This is your slope of the line, which is negative. That makes sense since we have a negative correlation, negative trend. We expect to get a negative slope. Negative 2.4 times x plus y-intercept, which is 60. Now let us check our online calculator. So let us clear all of these. We have to go to stat, go to edit again. So here we have x values, we have y values. Our x values are similar, exactly similar to our previous x values. So on the second column, L2, I'm going to enter the new information that I have. Take a look at your board. So on x-axis, sugar, it ranges between 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and your ratings are different: 60, 57.6, 55.2, 52.8, 50.4, and 48. So we have to change the second column. So the first rating was 60, then you have 57.6, then you have 55.2, then you have 52.8, then you have 50.4, then your last rating is 48. Excellent. So now we go to stat, we go to calc, we go to linear regression, enter. This is L1, this is my X value. I wrote down all X values on L1. I wrote down all Y values in L2, so I'm good here. Now I have to go to calculate. It calculates the exact same values for me. Slope of the line is negative 2.4 and y-intercept is equal to b. This is exactly the same as the data that website Alcula gave me. Slope is negative 2.4 and y-intercept is equal to 60. So your regression line is y hat equals to negative 2.4. Your y hat new line, y hat negative 2.4x plus 60. Slope of the line is a negative number. We expect to have a negative number because the trend was a decreasing trend. Slope or rate of change is negative. Slope is very important. It shows the rate of change between x and y. You have two variables, they're connected together, and slope, rise over 1, shows the rate of change. As x increases, your y decreases, so you get a negative number. So now you can use this new linear model to actually make predictions. If in an exam, in a quiz, they say, hey, you have this linear regression type of question that is question. First, find the linear regression equation to make predictions. What is the predicted rating for sugar equals to, suppose we have sugar equals to 10 grams. 10 grams in your cereal. We don't have amount of sugar equals to 10 here, but we have a nice formula. We can use this formula to make predictions for our rating, which is y hat. So in this case, you say that since I have y hat equals to negative 2.4x plus 60, and x is equal to 10. In this example, if x is equal to 10, I just plug that in. My y hat is equal to negative 2.4 times 10 plus 60. So if you multiply these two, you get negative 24 plus 60, which is equal to 36. So as you can see, we expect to get a lower rating. This is your new rating, which is lower than before. New rating. So now suppose you have a graph that represents the amount of sodium and the rating per serving and ratings for 9 cereals. So these dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 dots, these are just representing the information about your scatter plot on sodium and the rating. Okay, very well. So what do we have here? We have a regression line here. Do we have any formula for this regression line? We don't have any formula. But suppose this graph is given to you and you want to use the graph without using a formula for your line to analyze the information given here. What is the y-intercept of the least square regression line? Okay, y-intercept is the point of intersection with y-axis. This is your y-intercept, which is 45. Y-intercept, it means that you're working with your y value. What is the y value? Y value on the vertical axis. This is the point of intersection of this line with the y-axis, which is 45 as the rating. Okay. If a cereal has 0 milligrams of sodium per serving, what would be the predicted rating? 0, 0 a month. The point corresponding to 0 is exactly this point here. So when x is 0, when your x is 0, your y value is 45. Part C, how does the predicted rating change when the amount of sodium per serving increases to 50 milligrams? Guys, I lost my Zoom for a bit. Okay, so where were we? Yeah. So this is an online class that happens. Okay, very well. So where were we? Here we are. We were answering. How does the predicted rating change when the amount of sodium per serving increases to 50 milligrams to 100 milligrams? So what do you have here? You had 50. It actually, if you go up, it matches to this point on the line, and x increases to 100, So what is your y value? It is just here. So by looking at the graph, you say, hey, this is a decreasing graph. So I expect the rate of change or the slope be negative. How do we actually calculate that? Okay, let's take a look at our board, calculate the slope. So in this case, in this example, you don't have any table, you only have a graph with 2 points on the graph of the line. Well, here we go. We have this line, x, y. So y is the rating, and x is the amount of sodium. And we know that we have a regression line. This regression line is given to us, not the formula, but the line itself. So this line passes through this point, and we know that this point is equal to 45, and the line goes like this. You have 2 points on the graph of this line. So the first point given to you is, let's say, 60 and 42.5. 60 and the rating 42.5. And the second point is 100, and the rating is now 40. Question says, what is slope or rate of change? Rate of change or slope has a formula. Remember that you have a fraction on the numerator. You have to subtract y values, difference in y values, over the difference in x values. Difference in x values. y1 minus y2, or you can write y2 minus y1, so m, or the slope is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. What is y2? So y2 is 40 minus y1, which is 42.5, divided by x2, which is 100, minus x1, which is 60. So y2, y1, y2, y1, x2, x1. Let's do the calculation. Slope of the line is equal to. So 40 minus 42.5 is a negative number. Negative 2.5 divided by 100 minus 60 is equal to 40. So let's do the calculation. We get negative 25 divided by 4 times 100. So here you can cancel out these two. You get m equals to negative 1 over 60. Slope of the line, or negative 2.5.